All right, we're going to talk about the rear truck a little bit, bar angles, and what the relationship to the bar angles do to the how the truck functions. So we have, if you take a quick look, we have three adjustment holes here, three positions, and they change the radius rod's angle relationship wise to the center line. We'll call 0 degree the deck line, and what you're looking at, this is a NKP three link. It's upside down. This would be the road side. This would be the deck side. So the more you increase the bar angle on this, the more rear steer you're going to have, and we're going to demonstrate why here. So if you're going to have a real carvy setup, you want to be down here. If you we use the middle hole for track racing, the top hole for uphill and long track racing. So the flatter the bar, the more speed, the better the truck's going to react with speed. So inherently, the back end of the board, rear steer is where you get instability from. So the more steer you can take out of the back, the more stable your ride's going to be. So one of the things about this truck that's nice is that you can adjust for your ride condition that you're planning on doing, or dial it into what you feel as far as comfortable with for your speed and how you ride. But so let's take a look at this real quick. So we got the bar angle set. We're going to call the deck 0 degree. The bar angle right here is sitting right about, I'm going to say that's 10 degrees on the angleometer. So we're 10 and 10. Now, if you watch the screen, you can see the path of travel on the tip of this. So watch this as it goes. This is the low steer angle here. So it's going to still travel diagonally across the screen. You watch it come down here. Okay, so keep in mind, put this in your mind for that diagonal angle coming across the string, because we're going to make a change to this, and you're going to see it change as well. So what's happening here is we've got two bars. They're both going a little bit uphill, and as we steer, this one's going to come down to a 0 degree and then go to negative. This one's just going to keep climbing positive. And so what that does is this bar gets a little longer. This bar gets shorter as it draws up, and it's pushing the axle forward, pulling the axle back. So if we put full steer in here, we end up with about negative 4 degrees. And we come over to this side, we end up with positive, we're about positive 18 degrees over here. So that's a good setup for going fast. We're going to go ahead and change it and drop the bars down to the carvy spot. So as I'm moving these down, I want to talk a little bit about the spacing here. So on the middle and top holes, we'll run a single spacer behind the heim. I'll show you what that looks like. It's a little spacer washer goes in there. So when we go to drop it down here, we've end up with a clearance issue on the mounting hardware down here. So this is just on the rear truck we do this. We're going to take and we're going to add 2 washers for clearance. We do 1 washer here, 1 washer here. We do 3 washers down here. And it's just simply for hardware clearance. You don't want your radius rod, you don't want it binding up on that. It could bend. And so that's what the other 2 spacer washers are for. They're for clearance. So let's get these dropped down here. It doesn't take long to change your angles. It's really pretty amazing the feel just from changing 1 hole. It really changes the responsiveness of the board. So it's kind of fun to take and dial in and play around with the settings on the back of this. So we got our bars dropped down here. We're going to go ahead and put the angleometer on it. And I believe we started out closer to 10. we're sitting about 18 degrees on this, and 18 over here. So you can see that the bar angles are up. Now what's going to happen here is, being we have both positive angles, the more positive angle you have initially to start, the more it increases the tilt steer ratio of the whole truck back here. So if we had these up on top here sitting closer to 40 degrees, we're going to get just a sick amount of steer out of the back of this thing. But like I said, this setup down here is plenty. So we got our washer spacers added to the board side hole, and we're going to go ahead and put some input in here, and we'll check and see what we got. So we started out 18, and it puts it right back at about 10, which is where you started at the top hole. Okay, so we're going to roll it over here, and we started out at 18, and we are sitting right on 30 degrees on that. So just take note real quick and watch the plane of travel on the tip of this as it goes across the screen, and try and remember back to the first time we did this, and you'll see the amount and the difference in change here for the diagonal crossing of the screen on this. It's quite a bit more steer on the back of this thing now. So what we got is, we got 2 bars up. We got 1 bar pushing forward. We got 1 bar getting shorter and pulling back. And the more angle we have, the more steer we have. Back of the board pretty much means instability. You can also, by changing the ride height on this, by moving the center spherical up and down on this rod, that also effectively changes angles a little bit. But most of the angle changing you're going to want to do is back here. Play around with this. It's a lot of fun. Just taking and moving 1 hole makes a big difference in the way your board feels. Remember, 1 washer, 3 washers, and it'll all be good, man. So have fun with it.